Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all know, post scores are one of the most dominant 2v2 builds in the game, whether it be 2K21, 20, 19, all the way back to 18, even 17. But whenever it comes to 3v3 court, these guys always struggle and we're here to talk about it. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. Let's try to get this 1 to 1K likes in the first 24 hours. And you can see the lineup we're playing against. We're in the Basketball Gods tournament right here. And essentially, what we're playing against right here is no defense at all. Now you can see the post scorer is averaging 15 points per game. So clearly he's a big 1v1, 2v2 guy where he's going to have the ball in his hand very often. But again, we're here to talk about in this video why on 3v3 court, they become literally irrelevant and almost, I would say, the worst build that you could possibly bring to this court. So you can see on our side, instead at the big man spot, I got my two-way finisher, 6'7" pure lock. We'll talk about the difference between the both of the builds, even though they're both true like pure inside builds anyway. But at the 1 and the 2 spot, you can see we're running double play shot. We got my boy Shots top 5, I call him AK at the 1, and then we got Kitchen at the 2 with his play shot as well. 6'5" for Kitchen, 6'1" for AK. So essentially what we're doing with this, we're trying to get games over with as quickly as possible, and with the post scores comes just a real bad situation for anything that you'd ever bring to this event. And honestly, like I said, just in general for 3v3. So you're gonna see every single time, I want you guys to keep track of literally every bucket that's scored on this post score and where he's at fault. So again, you're gonna see in the pick and roll situations, he's never gonna be able to hide. Now typically, if we play a regular 3v3 lineup where we have a play shot, prim lock, paint beast, it's going to be a little bit of a different situation where they could hide this post score in the corner on whatever our two-way sharp is, who's just sitting in the corner every single time. But in the situation where they do try to hide him in the corner, we're going to give it to AK every single time, and he's going to work out in this pick and roll instead. So again, switching up, can't defend anything. His perimeter defense is awful, speed is awful. Honestly, he doesn't bring anything to the table defensively, and then on offense, still brings nothing to the table. I'm literally not even going to guard him, not even worried about it. Now, unfortunately, we don't play perfect defense throughout the course of this game. The other two kind of gave up a couple threes, and I don't say that in like a blame game aspect. I'm literally just saying, like, you know, we were trying to stop the three-pointers from going up, and we still couldn't do that. But you're gonna see this dude is literally on a rope. Like, he can't defend a single thing. Kitchen's over here shooting a couple whites, but it doesn't matter either way. He's not going to affect the shots at all. We already know we can put him in the ISO every single time. Now, this is where I also want to talk about the whole double teaming aspect. So let's say they just wanted to decide that they don't want to give up any three-pointers at all. Well, then I'm just going to camp in the paint wide open, easy twos, double team my point guard. Well, we're just going to take the 2. But the other end, they do stuff like this. They're putting up the post hooks and stuff where it doesn't matter. You see how much I literally don't care. I'm leaving him wide open. We're letting him take those shots. I literally don't care. It's 2-pointers at the end of the day, and you're not even going to attempt to get a 3-pointer like we are right here. So at the end of the day, we're scoring 3, you're scoring 2. It's about as easy as that. And like I said, if you want to talk about the ease of the 2-pointers, every single time that I'm going to take a 2, I'm going to be wide open, just sitting below the hoop and just dunking the ball. Again, you can see we give up a couple 3-pointers that we weren't necessarily meaning to. We were just trying to play the switch defense between those two when it comes to the perimeter, and I just can't paint. Again, you can see this dude's on an island. Now, even in the situation where Kitchen has a wide open 3-pointer, shoots a very late, I'm getting double teamed on the rebound by 2 bigs. Doesn't even matter. Dude's too slow to even get involved in the rebounds, too slow to get it back out to the perimeter again. You're going to see this whole gameplay is literally just about targeting the post score. And honestly, we weren't even intending to do this in the first place. We got an event that we're trying to win, but you can see how much I literally don't care that the post hook is going up. That's just not the case on 2v2 court, because it's make it take it. Every single shot that they take is an important one to defend, and we can't just give stuff up easy. Again, you can see he tries to jump, can't do anything. He literally can't do a thing on defense, and there's literally no point in bringing this build to the 3v3 court. Now, it's so weird, isn't it, that honestly, when it comes to the 2v2 court, this is the most dominant build in the game, most unstoppable thing possible, but on 3v3, it has no purpose at all. Now, another little topic that I like to always talk about when I talk about the just BS of 2v2, how easy it is for post scores to live in that court, honestly, if they made that court not make it take it, these post scores would be just dead entirely. They would never be useful on any single court ever, because flat out 3-pointers would be worth more than 2s. Now, you can talk about how dominant the play shot is in this game anyway, and how that'd be super whack, because then 2v2 would just be ran by play shots no matter what. But at the same time, we all know we don't like post scores, so that's just the thing about it. But either way, this guy went 4 for 4, 8 points. Did that matter at all, and did that help the game in any situation at all? No. Now, did I help the game in any situation at all on offense? No. But ask yourself the question, what does my build bring to the table on defense that his doesn't? Well, mine is literally the best defensive build in the game, flat out, period. Like 97 perimeter defense, 97 lateral quickness, 95 speed, all types of like 30 defensive badges. what you bring to the table on defense with the post score is literally just size, and size does not matter on 3v3. But seriously, I do see a lot of comments where people talk about like, oh, you're 6'7" big, can't hang with the tall bigs, what are you going to do when they post you up? And like I said, I play 3v3 for the most part anyway. You don't need the height, you don't need the size, you don't need to be tall to rebound in the first place, as you saw with the one clip. And unfortunately, that was the only clip I show because there was literally one miss in the game, and it was on the kitchen wide open 3-pointer at the top. All right, so what we're going to do to close out this very short video is at the end of this, we're going to go ahead and show you guys the actual ratings of each build, in case there's anybody out there who doesn't know exactly what's being brought to the table as far as the defense goes. So for this post score, this is at 7 feet tall. Now, I don't know if he was 7'3" or not, but this is for 7 feet tall. 45 perimeter defense, 44 lateral quickness, 52 speed, 45 acceleration, and 53 vertical. That is unacceptable to ever put on the 3v3 court, flat out. The only reason you should ever have this bad of stats is if you're providing maybe a pure stretch big or something like that. But even at that, I mean, like I said, this is at 7 feet tall. If you go 7'3", max out the weight, max out the wingspan, this thing literally has 29 perimeter defense, 29 lateral quickness, 36 speed, 33 acceleration, 35 vertical. That is awful. And a lot of people, and I really do want to push this narrative because a lot of people feel like this. They're like, oh, I have 94 block, I have 91 O board, 91 D board. Give me the 99 ratings, then I have like 97 or 98 block, and I'm 7'3". You're never gonna dunk on me. Yeah, you know what my point guard's gonna do? Spray these threes every single possession, like Kitchen did, 7 for 8. Literally smoked a wide open one in the first place. Could have been 7 for 7, in all honesty. But anyway, my whole point is, a lot of these people, they just talk about their tall big and how it provides so much as an anchor on defense, but then provides zero help defense and are a complete liability when they get put into switches in the pick and roll. As opposed to this, where you have 93 perimeter defense, 93 lateral quickness, 95 steal, and then people sit here and look at the block, the O board, the D board, the fact that I'm 6'7", 80 vertical. You're like, how could you ever hang with the bigs when you have this build? You're gonna get snagged on, you're gonna get dominated down low, you're gonna get dunked on, post hook, all types of stuff like this. It don't matter on 3v3, y'all. You gotta understand that. There's a reason I made this build in the first place, and it's because I live on this 3v3 court. And honestly, the reason that I do is because I feel like twos is just whack in general, where it is ran by things like post hooking and hop dunking and stuff like that, and just in general toxic lineups that really, in all honesty, don't really require too much skill. And granted, what I do, you could quote unquote say doesn't take too much skill. I'm just out here setting screens for really good point guards. It is what it is. But a lot of the stuff that I do is obviously against people of higher competition than those we just played. But the principle of this video is speed matters way more than size on 3v3 court, especially for the big man spot, and defensive badges are super important when it comes to the big man spot too. Now, if you're somebody who decides you want to make a pure stretch big and play the 3 with it, and you have a couple physical deficiencies like we can show on the screen right now. All right, so let's say you want to run a build like this: 6'8" point guard, pure green pie chart to run as a big man spot. You're gonna max out everything on defense, max out the shooting, and then touch the finishing just a little bit. I would say to be able to run things like floor general and dimer with the playmaking badges would be key. So just to go ahead and show you guys what the badge spread is gonna look like. I mean, pretty much who cares about free throw as well, as far as being a park build or any like stage 3v3 or park 3v3, whatever it may be. Anyway, my whole point is, this build is as much of a deficiency as the post score, but not even that much because you still have the lateral quickness and perimeter defense. But the thing about this build that provides so much more is the offensive versatility. I mean, this provides so much more for 3v3 court. Of the whole 3-pointers rule, you could be a pick and pop big, you could spot up from the corner, make it so they can't double team anywhere. I mean, you saw throughout the course of the game, we literally did not care one bit. I literally acted like the post score just wasn't even there, because at the end of the day, it's a 2-point shot and it's not even a dunk. He's just post hooking at the end of the day, so he could even miss it, and I might even just run in there and grab the rebound with the speed anyway. But anyway, my whole point is, if you want to provide something to the offense and actually have a purpose on O, I would provide a build like this, or even just be a pure lock who's going to be able to get wide open dunks when they have to key in on your point guard a little bit too much. Anyway, my whole point is, post score does not belong in 3v3 court. It's simple as that. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on the noties, all the good stuff. Like I said in the intro, let's try this 1 to 1K likes in the first 24 hours. And if you made it to the end of this very short video, put lock in the comments to show your support you made all the way through. Shout out to my boys AK and Kitchen. No matter who was defended by anybody in that game, they were going to go crazy. We went on a 12 game in the basketball gods for anybody who's curious, but then somebody got obviously booted offline, as you would expect no matter what it is with this 2K community. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and other than that, take it easy, man. Peace.